Well, hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Unlocked. I'm Tracy Wilson, your host for the next, maybe 15, 20 minutes. We'll be on here live today. So I've got a concept and a topic that I wanted to talk to you guys about today based on some questions that I've been getting and some conversations that I've been having with various different people throughout the week. And the topic of today is, can you really build a business based on what you know? I have got some I suppose, opinions about this and some ways in which you can go about doing exactly that. But what I want to firstly start with is the fact that, when we think about what's happened over the last kind of 18 months and how much the world has changed, and what I'm starting to hear and also get a lot of questions about is, people are feeling a little bit unsettled about, being in a regular job. And we all realize that nowadays, the thought or the opportunity for us to have a job that would last us, 40 years. So if we think back to our parents' kind of era, they had the opportunity to be able to have a job, and they generally stayed in that for a really long period of time until we kind of went through the cycle, and you kind of got into the I suppose era of the 7-year itch, where people would change jobs every 7 years. But nowadays, things have changed significantly in a COVID situation where a lot of things have been, kind of spilt upside down. People are starting to think about, how can I actually make an income doing different things? We've had a little bit of a taste of potentially some, although we might have felt like we've been in lockdown and we've lost a lot of freedom, we've sort of also had an opportunity to experience what a different way of working might look like, in the sense that a lot of people were displaced out of their work. They were asked to work from home. So you start working from home and you start saying, oh, this is actually quite good. I can kind of get out of bed, walk a few steps down to my office and be in my pajama, bottoms if I wanted to, and still be able to do my work. So we've kind of had a bit of time to experience some of that. That experience has now started to plant some seeds for some people, and we're thinking about, maybe there could be a different way. Maybe I need to start, a side hustle or a side gig, or maybe I actually want to start my own business. And sometimes people are thinking about, how do I actually do that? Do I actually need to go away and find myself a product, or actually create, a big business and using, my skills and my knowledge and create something around the consulting or even coaching space? And so all of these questions are being asked, in our own minds now, is like, what's available? What can I do? There's a couple of things that I wanted to share with you guys. And the first is the industry and how things have changed significantly. So I've talked about kind of some of the things that have happened externally. We've had COVID. People are experiencing different things. We're starting to think a little bit differently. And we're probably wondering, is there actually an opportunity for me to create something around the information, the skills, the experience, and the knowledge that I have? How could I turn that into a business? And is it actually possible? Well, let me open up your mind a little bit here and share with you some statistical data. And this is based on some data that I've done some research on, and that's come from Global Market Insights and the e-learning space. So if you think about how things have changed and what people are doing now in terms of being able, wanting to increase their level of expertise and their knowledge in particular areas, we're turning a lot to the online space, so e-learning, and even schools are starting to do this sort of stuff. So there is definitely a huge amount of opportunity in that space. And I'm going to show you, kind of uncover for you where the big gap is right now. So right now, according to the Global Market Insights, that e-learning industry has just surpassed, back in 2019 actually, it surpassed US $200 billion. So that market is absolutely massive, and it is all based around increasing people's level of knowledge and skill set in a particular area. And it's actually anticipated to reach over $350 billion by the year 2026. So right now, if you do the math on that, you've got about $150 million gap where there is an opportunity where that market is continuing to expand. Now, how can you tap into that, and how can you kind of take advantage of the trajectory that that market is taking and where people are actually starting to, continue to use e-learning to improve and better themselves. Well, you too can use your skills, your knowledge, and your expertise to start placing yourself right smack bang in the middle of that market. Now, how do you actually do that? And I've had a few conversations this week with a number of people, and as we started talking about, what they've been doing, what they've been up to, what skills, knowledge, and experience they have, right inside of the stories that they tell and the way that they share with me what their skill set is, there is sitting a lot of business opportunities. So let me give you a few examples of this. So earlier in the week, I had a opportunity to have a conversation with a young girl who was just telling me about how she had just finished a really successful sporting career. And she had twigged on that, other people in her industry, in her sporting sort of close-knit community, were doing outreach to the influencers. So we've all seen this happen over time, and you've seen this, like you go to Instagram, you can see this happening on the regular. You've got a whole lot of people who have become, I'm going to say, influencers over a period of time because they've positioned themselves well and they've created themselves an audience. And often, if you are somebody who's come from a sporting career or you've already got influence somewhere, you've already created influence. It may not necessarily have created an audience, but you've created some influence. And then the next part of the puzzle there is then you're now going to use that influence and start creating an audience. Now, so she started on this process of starting to create herself, use the influence that she's got in her marketplace already, and she's starting to build herself an audience. So what she then did is went, well, I'm seeing a whole lot of other influencers reach out to various different brands and ask them if they can endorse their brands. Now, as she was talking to me about this process, I'm saying to her, well, when you think about the process that you went through, and for all of you guys who are thinking, gosh, I need to take my skills, my knowledge, and my expertise and turn that into a business of some sort, here lies the key to this entire process, is the switch from thinking about, I need to create myself a physical product as in, something like this highlighter pen or like a calculator to solve somebody's problem. But now we're starting to think about our knowledge, our skills, and our experience as potential products. So every time you create a new system or a new process or a new way of doing something, that potentially is a product in and of itself. So the example that I've just given you, where I was speaking with this young girl and she was telling me about what she had done, my advice to her was, now I want you to think about the process that you went through to be signed to be an ambassador for a particular brand. What was the process that you went through? And what you do is you start to document that process. You start to think about, what was the first step that I did? What did I do next? What did I do next? You're starting to systemize that entire process. Once you systemize that then can become a product. It becomes a product on its own, or it can become a product that's part of a much bigger picture. So if you think about that in itself, she then would potentially be able to go and offer that same product to other people in a similar situation to what she was in. So situation is a sports person who has created influence in her particular area. She doesn't yet have an audience, but is able to go and use some of the platforms that are available to us now to create an audience, and she can leverage the experience, skills, and the knowledge that she had and the authority that she had in her particular industry, and then teach other people how the method that she created to be able to become a brand ambassador for some other brands. So when you start doing that, you start creating a information product that then is desirable for other people who would be looking to leverage their skills, their knowledge, their experience, and the authority that they had in their particular industry, and showing them how they can now transition themselves from being a sports person into being a influencer or somebody who has influence, and being able to utilize that as a skill set to teach other people. And then that becomes a product that you then are able to use to step into the e-learning market. So I just wanted to share with you guys today that very simple example of a conversation with somebody that actually has a product sitting right inside of it. So my advice to you guys today is to think about like the questions that you get asked. Maybe you've done something a little bit different that's not the norm. It's something that most people don't do. Maybe you've come up with a method or a system or a process that has given you a fantastic result that other people that are in a similar situation to you could benefit from. When you start thinking like that, then you start opening up your mind to start spotting all of your unique skills and experience that you have that can potentially be turned into products. So today's show is all about helping you to expand your mind, to start getting you to think about everything that you do. Is there a way that you do it that is really unique, that might be a little bit different, that gets a really awesome result? And if it does, think about how you might be able to turn that into an information business. And if you'd like to know more about how to do that, then I would recommend that you just continue to watch the Unlock show, because over the next few months, I'll be unlocking more ways and going a little bit deeper and giving you some ideas and tips on how you do that. And if you want to kind of fast track all of that, then you might connect with me online and we can have a further chat, and I'll show you some techniques as to how you can start identifying the uniqueness that you have and the unique products that you have sitting inside of the skills, the experience, and the knowledge that you already have, and how you can turn them into an information product and a business. So I'm going to leave it at that today, guys. I want to wish you guys all the best for the weekend. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. And if you're wondering how the heck you can create, a business out of the skills, the knowledge, and the experience that you already have, and wondering whether or not there's actually a market for it, well, hopefully today's show has expanded your mind and shown you that it is absolutely possible to do that. You just need a few simple steps to help you to unlock those unique skills that you have already sitting inside that amazing brain of yours, and being able to turn them into a really successful business. So have a fantastic weekend. I'm going to be back again next week. Wednesdays and Fridays I go live. Wednesday I'll have a guest with me, and next Friday I'll be back here again at 10 a.m. Brisbane time. So go ahead, guys. As you know, I always say, go and live your life unlocked, because there is just no other way. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody, and bye for now.